You think central banks are boring?
They just bought more gold last year than at any point in the last 55 years.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously, over 1,000 tons, 3 years straight.
And the craziest part, they're not really telling us why.
Welcome to Volky Econ 101. Tonight, let us see the secret gold rush. Picture this. It is 2 a.m. in a government vault somewhere. Nobody is posting about it. Nobody is tweeting about it. But quietly, a central bank just bought another 20 tons of gold. That happened again last night, and the night before. In 2022, 2023, and 2024, the world central banks bought over 1,000 tons of gold every single year. That is the longest sustained buying streak in recorded modern history. Gold hit $4. 300 an ounce in late 2025, up 55% in a single year. But here's the thing nobody really talks about on finance social media. The people buying the most gold are not retail investors or hedge funds. They are governments. Entire nations, central banks, Poland, China, India, Kazakhstan, all quietly stacking gold like it is going out of style. And some of them, like China, stop telling the world what they are buying at all. So what do they know that you do not? Why are the people who literally control the money supply suddenly hoarding the one thing that is not controlled by anyone? Stick around, because this story goes way deeper than gold prices.
Okay, Volky, I keep seeing gold at like $4,000 an ounce. Why is that even the story? Gold has been around forever.
Because the price is not the story, Jason. The story is who is buying it. Central banks, governments. Not your uncle who is scared of inflation. Actual nation states moving billions into physical gold.
But why now? Like what changed?
One moment changed everything. February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. The US and Europe froze $300 billion of Russia foreign exchange reserves. Overnight, gone, inaccessible. Every finance minister on earth watched that happen.
And they freaked out.
They drew one simple conclusion. Reserves you cannot touch are not really reserves. Gold stored at home, nobody can freeze that. That is when the buying really accelerated.
So this is like financial self-defense?
Exactly. You are starting to get it. The dollar quiet problem. Here is a quick history lesson, and I promise it is actually wild. After World War II, the world needed a financial anchor. So, in 1944, at Bretton Woods, every major currency was pegged to the US dollar, and the dollar itself was backed by gold. $35 could buy you 1 ounce of gold. Guaranteed. That lasted until 1971, when President Nixon ended it. Suddenly, the dollar was backed by nothing physical, just trust. Trust in the US government, its economy, and its military power. For decades, that trust held up fine. But fast forward to today, US national debt is $39 trillion and climbing fast. The weapon that backfired. When the US froze Russia $300 billion in reserves in 2022, it worked as a sanction. But it also sent a very loud message to every other country on Earth. That message: dollar-denominated assets are now a political risk. If Washington decides you are an enemy, your reserves can vanish before breakfast. Countries from Brazil to India to China started doing the math. And the math said, hold more gold. Central bank gold buying nearly doubled from around 500 tons a year before 2022 to over 1,000 tons after. Poland's central bank alone added 102 tons in 2025. Their governor publicly said it was for national security reasons. Not economic growth, not inflation hedging, national security. The dollar declining share. Here is a number that should make you stop and think. In 1999, 71% of global foreign exchange reserves were held in US dollars. By 2025, that number had dropped to below 57%, the lowest since 1994. That is not a crash. But it is a trend, and trends have momentum. Meanwhile, BRICS nations now hold 17.4% of global gold reserves. Back in 2019, that number was 11.2%. They are not buying euros. They are not buying yuan. They are buying the one asset that has no issuer, no counterparty, and no political jurisdiction. The asset that no government can print more of. That is gold.
Okay, so I'm starting to understand this. Countries got scared their dollar reserves could get frozen, so they started buying gold instead. That makes sense.
Yeah, right. And here's the crazy part. China is the second biggest economy in the world, and they stopped reporting its gold purchases in May 2024. Nobody didn't understand it. But yes, it just stopped. Then everything went to completely dark.
Wait, they are legally allowed to do that?
They just did. And analysts think they are still buying, and it could be roughly 200 to 300 tons in a year, which is a prediction from off the books. The reason? If they announced big purchases, it would drive up gold prices, making it more expensive for them, and weaken the dollar, which raises their import costs.
So they are buying in secret to keep prices cheaper for themselves.
That is the theory. And it makes perfect sense when you are a government moving billions, not thousands. The real 2025 number could be 300 tons higher than what is officially reported.
That is kind of terrifying, actually.
Welcome to Geopolitical Finance, Jason. A world running out of trust. Here is what nobody on mainstream finance news really spells out. The global financial system runs on trust in the US dollar. But that trust has a few serious cracks forming right now. First crack. US debt just crossed $39 trillion. The annual deficit is running at about $1.9 trillion for 2026. That is, money the US is borrowing and eventually has to pay back or inflate away. Second crack. The US has used financial sanctions more aggressively than ever before. Over 16,000 sanctions were placed on Russia alone after 2022. Third crack. SWIFT, the payment system that connects global banks, is controlled by Western nations. China responded by building CIPS, its own parallel payment network. By March 2026, CIPS was processing $270 billion in transactions in a single month. The alternative financial architecture is being built. Quietly, fast. And gold sits at the center of all of it. The secret gold rush. Let us talk numbers, because these are genuinely shocking. In 2022, central banks collectively bought more gold than any year since 1967. Then in 2023, they bought even more. Then again in 2024. 3 years straight, above 1,000 tons. Never happened before in modern history. Poland National Bank is the poster child for this. They added over 100 tons every year for 2 years running. Their gold now makes up 28% of their total reserves, and they are targeting 30%. Then the governor announced plans to push it to 700 tons. For national security, India Reserve Bank quietly became one of the world's fastest moving buyers. Kazakhstan set its own all-time record, 57 tons in 2025 alone. A World Gold Council survey in early 2026 found something remarkable. 95% of central bank respondents expected global gold reserves to keep rising. 43% said they personally planned to buy more, the highest in the survey 8-year history. 0 said they planned to reduce holdings. 0. Meanwhile, gold's share of global official reserves has roughly doubled since 2015. For the first time since 1996, central banks now hold more gold than US Treasury securities. What this actually means for you. Okay, so you are not a central banker. What does any of this mean for you? 3 things. 1. Gold prices are probably not done moving. JP Morgan research team is calling for $5,000 an ounce by Q4 2026, with $6,000 possible in the longer term if the structural buying continues. 2. This is a signal about the dollar long-term purchasing power. When the people who literally print money start hoarding gold, they are telling you something. Not that the dollar collapses tomorrow, but that its dominance is slowly, quietly eroding. 3. Inflation math is about to get interesting. If de-dollarization accelerates, if more countries trade in local currencies, that frees up a lot of unwanted dollars. Those dollars come home. They inflate the US money supply, which is exactly what hard assets like gold are designed to protect against. You do not have to buy gold. That is not the point. The point is that the smartest financial institutions on Earth are repositioning. And they started doing it while most people were still arguing about crypto.
Okay, I think I actually get it now. This is not just about gold prices. It is about countries trying to protect themselves from a financial system they do not fully control anymore.
Exactly. And here is the kicker. It is not like this started last year. The dollar share of global reserves has been falling since 2001. This is a slow structural shift. Gold is how countries are hedging against that shift.
So what should regular people take from this?
Understand that the rules of money are being rewritten, not overnight, not dramatically. But the people who run the world financial systems are quietly betting that the old rules are changing.
And they are placing those bets in gold.
Consistently, aggressively, and without announcing it, which is either very boring or the most important financial story of the 2020s, depends on how you look at it.
I am going with most important.
Oh, you smart kid. So here is where we are. Central banks have been buying gold at a pace the world has not seen since the 1960. The dollar grip on global reserves is loosening, slowly, but measurably. Countries are building an alternative financial architecture, and gold is the foundation they keep coming back to. Now, here's what nobody is talking about yet. BRICS researchers have already piloted a gold-backed digital settlement currency, backed 40% by gold, 60% by BRICS currencies. It is not official policy yet. But if that becomes official policy, if the world's largest emerging economies start settling trade in a gold-backed instrument instead of dollars, that changes everything. The Petrodollar, the US debt ceiling, the Fed influence, all of it gets stress tested. The question is not whether a new monetary order is coming. The question is whether you will understand it when it arrives. Next video, we go deeper. Thanks for watching our video, and if you like it, hit to the like button, which will be an help for us to grow our channel. Please subscribe to Volky Econ 101 and stay always tuned. See you on next episodes.